All right, we live on YouTube. I'm gonna start recording. All right, so we're recording on Apple and Spotify, so on and so forth, man. We got the Corona Thon day 5, day 5. We're gonna keep it going, man. This is the actual Power of Ownership podcast, so we're gonna do a little bit of double duty today. We're gonna do the Corona Thon and we're gonna do the Power of Ownership podcast. We're gonna merge the two. Let me get into brief introductions. We're not gonna promote too much today until the end, so we're gonna hop right into it. My name is Brandon B. Dixon. I'm a serial entrepreneur, mortgage broker, community activist, so on and so forth. I got my guest host here, Stephen Contreras.
Go ahead. How you guys doing? This is my cat. This is Boo.
Right, that's the official mascot.
Yeah.
Of the Power of Ownership podcast.
I just fed her, so she's like has a lot of energy. I'm Stephen Contreras, guys, geologist here in Houston, Texas. I'm a studier of the arts and sciences, and here to try and help the world be a better place.
Right. I'm trying to go live here on Instagram as well, but my internet has problems. I guess I got too much stuff streaming on it. But we live on YouTube here. Let's get into the meat of the show because and then we're gonna promote at the end. Since you guys are at home right now and you guys are combing through stuff to do, I know my overachievers and our audience are gonna want to better themselves a little bit. So it's just the insatiable curiosity that we have inside of us as entrepreneurs and the drive to get better and better and better. So I know you guys want to, if you're going to watch movies, go ahead and watch something that you're going to get something out of and that you could take those nuggets and improve yourself. So we're going to break down a couple of our favorite movies or movies you should watch. And we'll give you some of the symbolism and break down some of the nuggets to look for to go ahead and take yourself and help yourself and go to the next level with it. So I'll let Steve go ahead and start off. Let's do one each. Let's do one. You name one of your favorites, give them a couple of pointers, and tell them why you like it and so on and so forth, and why it's a good watch.
Okay, I guess if I had to pick a movie for probably the last 5 to 7 years, I forget which year it came out, maybe 2012, 2014, but anything Christopher Nolan does is magic. Every film he does on purpose. He covers the hermeticism or mysticism, whatever you want to call it, in all his films. And so I'll be naming a few of his today or tonight. But probably my favorite one by him is called Interstellar. And the reason why I like Interstellar is because it teaches people how space-time works and how things move through this reality that we're living in, right? So, but like the physics, the quantum physics and the science and the space, it's all spot on and accurate, in my opinion. Like I know physics, I know quantum physics. That whole movie is reality in a sense, and it's beautiful. It's about a man who has to sacrifice his family to save humanity, but he didn't realize what he was doing until after he came back. And when he came back, his family was 70 years older than him, but he essentially saved the world by transmitting code, binary code, to the people on Earth from another place in time and space, somewhere we can't even see. And so that whole movie deals with quantum physics, space-time, astral travel. It is a phenomenal film. It's one of my favorites.
Name the film again?
Interstellar by Christopher Nolan. As Matthew McConaughey and Hathaway are the two leads.
I think I've seen that. When did it come out?
2012, 2014.
I think I've seen that. It was about they were the only ones left on like the planet or something to that effect.
At the very end, yeah, they're the only two left in a distant galaxy after they travel through a black hole, and they have to repopulate using genetic code.
Right. I think I've seen that. I'm gonna have to watch it again because I didn't see really that much. I go for the real deep deep.
This one's deep though. He hides it in
Yeah,
plain sight. It's so good. Like
right,
who is he talking to in the black hole? It's himself. It's
right,
great.
right.
It's
I'm gonna have to
great.
check it out. See, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. We once we give you guys the example, sometimes you want to rewatch these things and look pick up those hidden Easter eggs that you might have missed out by just watching the surface. So a lot of stuff has a lot of depth to it that you might not see if you just scroll through it. So I'll go ahead and give you one of mine. And I think I put you on this the other day. Let's start off with frequencies, man. 2013. I mean, it's a British film, but it talks about it's a fantasy. It's a romantic fantasy, but it gives a lot of insight and symbolism on real life. This real life um, third density that we're in. So it talks about people that vibrate on certain frequencies. Did you just text me?
No.
Okay. Somebody text me on the Steven Contreras.
I
that's,
mean that was a while ago.
I don't know. Maybe my internet's lagging this that much. But anyway, it talks about frequencies um, as if they were something that you could had control over, which you kind of do. You come out vibrating at your lowest frequency. You come in, they say, born in sin, shaped in iniquity. You come in vibrating as low as you can vibrate. Then from there, you could increase your frequency with knowledge of self. And what it was talking about is that these two students had the polar opposite frequencies. One had the lowest frequency out of school, one had the highest frequency out of school, and they couldn't be around each other because catastrophic stuff would happen. It would break down the fabrics of the matrix because they weren't even supposed to be around each other. Her she was the girl that played the lead. She was had the highest frequency. The universe works only towards stuff that'll benefit her. So by him being around her, that it didn't compute inside the matrix. So it didn't work. So it would tear down the fabric of the matrix. So she figured out, every year that they could spend 1 minute of time, around each other before everything starts breaking down and start acting goofy to tell, because the universe works for you. So, it would rainstorm, it would do all kind of stuff to get him away from her, so she figured out you got 1 minute before everything starts tearing up. So, but this guy, over the years, developed a crush on her. So he did an experiment. He was brilliant himself. That's another thing. Don't get this wrong. He was a brilliant dude, but he figured out through the help of one of his friends that was even more brilliant that the pattern, he could disrupt the pattern by certain vibrations and certain words. And he was able to be around her longer by doing these certain words. And they wind up figuring out and cracking the code to the universe through sound and vibration. So, and it takes a twist and turn. I don't want to spoil it for you, but great movie. A lot of stuff that is really real if you really look at it, but it was a cute, romantic, fantasy movie, but it has a lot of real undertones to it that, if you really on a higher consciousness, you really can see the parallels. So
Yeah, I like the film too. It's really good. I
yeah,
recommend it.
Frequencies. Came out 2013. No, there's one movie called Frequencies, and there's Frequencies. Don't get them twisted. This one came out in 2013. So go next. What you got? What you got?
Yeah. So just for recently, for all the people who like HBO's The Watchmen series is phenomenal. It is probably some of the best TV I have ever seen. The symbolism is amazing. Everything they're talking about is real. Even the weird stuff with teleportation and being on another planet, clones, space time, how Dr. Manhattan works, like how he has to turn off his brain and they use a computer chip to do it so he can be with someone he loves. It is a rock star of a TV series. And even they even have politics in it. Like they show you that these people who like believe a certain thing and they're not wrong. It happened, but is it right or is it wrong? Like how the masses can manipulate things, and it is a 5 out of 5 amazing show. The best show I've probably seen in 2 years.
Gotcha. I tried to get into Watchmen. I have to rewatch it again. I think you have to be kind of versed in that comic book to really put your mind to it. I watched it fresh, so I'm not really versed about the comic book, so I kind of watched it fresh.
Yeah, so I'll give a little background. You don't have to see the movie. I think you really get, like, the movie is real comic book. It comes straight from the 1985 or whatever year Watchmen came out. That the movie that came out in 2009, that was straight out of a comic book. This is realism, in my opinion. I don't even think they have very many comic book elements in the show. Myself, it's all real world, gritty. Like, there's so many good scenes. Like, it talks about the egg, like the egg of life and how eggs work, and it's amazing. It's great.
Right. Yeah, that's on HBO. That's a series, right?
Yeah, it's a series. It's like, I think it's 9 episodes.
Gotcha. My next thing I want to is a classic, man. And you gotta watch. This is a must watch, man, especially if you got some time. Cube. I want to say this came out in 96, 97. Are you familiar with this one?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh man, they made 3 of them, but the first 2 are the best. The number one Cube is the best. The second one is more talking about quantum mechanics, but Cube is talking about, you got these 6 prisoners or 6 people that just wind up in this hypercube, and there's rooms on each side of you, and you don't know how you got there, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. Who put them there? Who to trust? And how to get out of there. And they have no memory or very vague memory on who they are and how they can get out. And they have to, as the movie progresses, they figure out that each one of them have a component on how to get out of the matrix. So they have to work together, how to get out of the cube, should I say. They have to work together in order to get out. One's like a quantum physics and a mathematician. One's a savant and this one. So everybody needs to work together. But also, they don't forget they have no food, don't have no water. So time is running out. So they can't just sit there forever. So it's almost like how we are. And the reason I like the symbolism in it is that that's how we are. We are on a limited time space here to really figure this thing out. And you really figure out towards the end. You gotta go in. You gotta go in, and everybody is all the oneness in order to get out of this thing. So that's the symbolism in it. So instead of turning against each other, that's the reason why they wasn't going nowhere in the beginning, because they were all bickering and fighting. And once they start harmonizing and start coming together, that's when they start moving. And it still was distrust. Distrust amongst the races, distrust amongst different tribes, and you're a cop, I don't trust you. Mm-hmm. And it cost them. I don't want to spoil it, but go ahead and watch it. To the end. And part 2 of the Cube was talking about hyperspace and all that stuff. So it got real trippy. But
in Dragon Ball Z, they travel throughout the universes in a cube.
Okay, gotcha. So does the board, but so that's the thing. But the Cube, man, it was Cube is a good movie, just showing us how we are. It's so simple, showing us us in the third dimension. We don't know why we got here, but it's for a reason, and the reason that we're here is to learn about ourselves and get out, learn how to work together, learn about the oneness and get out of here. Mm-hmm. What you got?
So I know we did a video a few months ago on phenomenology, and this is also another Christopher Nolan film. Everyone thinks this movie is a war movie. It is not a war movie. This is called Dunkirk, about how they had to save all the soldiers off the beaches of France and get them back to England across the Channel, where they all were going to die. And so it was advertised as a war movie, but when you watch the movie, it's an I guess, artistic masterpiece. They use vibrations, they use sounds, and they make you think that the storyline that they're doing is happening all at the same time, right? So you have three separate storylines from three separate perspectives, all happening at the same time. And this is what phenomenology is. This is the stuff of how you manifest things into reality. It's a phenomenon. We live in a paradox, and you have to learn how to use phenomenons in your everyday. So when a human being talks to another human being, it's a phenomenon, right? And so what's going on in the film, three separate storylines all taking place, and you learn at the very end it was 1 hour, 1 day, and 1 week were the three separate timelines, but the film puts it together to make you think it's all happening at the same time. It is a masterpiece with all the music, all the frequencies, all the sounds. It is one of the best films I've seen. And some people didn't like it because they thought it was a war movie. It's not a war movie. It's art.
Gotcha. And what year did it come out?
2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
2018. He always does his movies on even years.
Gotcha.
Every 2 years. Yeah.
Gotcha. Definitely the next one that you got to check out that I love. Well, if we include the series right now, spend the $6, man, and check out Picard, the new Star Trek, man.
Okay.
It's awesome, man. I mean, probably some of the best work, but probably some of the best Star Trek out there because it's real Star Trek. It's not like Discovery where it's all all the new Star Trek where it's shoot 'em up, bang bang. It's almost that's not Star Trek. Star Trek is nerd stuff, man. It's slow, it's conversation, it's plot. That's Star Trek. So that's kind of how Picard is, man. But I mean, great writing, great character development. I mean, it's and there's even symbology in there as well. There's broken characters where they're showing characters that's addicted. It's showing how Picard, like in the later years, his arrogance won't let him fold. So yeah, you got to check it out, man. It's talking about artificial intelligence, which really have a lot of symbology in it. I don't want to ruin it for anybody because it's just that good. You got to really check it out. So I'm not gonna go into details about the plot because I don't want to ruin it, but it has a lot to do with artificial intelligence, has a lot to do with friendships, relationships over the years, has a lot to do with your purpose in life. So I mean, Picard is real. It's Star Trek. It has a lot of new updates, and it still has that character development, man. Nobility. It's human. It's the human experience, best case scenario. I would wish it would come out like this, but I know it's hopeful thinking. I know the reason why I love Star Trek so much is it's us at our best. Where there's no more money, no more racism. There's no more. We all work together for one common cause. Everybody's trying to better themselves for the greater good, just to better themselves, to better humanity. And there's no hidden agendas involved. There's no money involved. There's no money. They drop money. It's just the better the species, and everybody works like hell just to be the best them. No ego involved. So I know that's a utopia, but it would be great to have that. But I know we're so far from that right now, man. We all ego, we all capitalism. It's all about who has more, and I have more than you, and this group is racing against this group, and it's all shot right now. But I would love to see it get to the Star Trek universe.
I think we're closer than you think, actually.
Not a lot much xenophobes, and you know what I mean. It's so much, man. We still, like I said earlier, we talked about this earlier. We still subscribe to skin color, man. They said that
Yeah.
Star Trek addressed that in the '60s. They had a species where you ever seen this guy with the one half of his face was black, one half was white, and the other guys it was flipped, and they were fighting each other. Like, guys, why are you fighting? You're the same species. No, you can't tell the difference. My half is on my black side is on the right. It's like, man, how stupid are you guys? Like, you know, what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You know, man, you guys are the same species. You
Yeah.
know, but I mean, it's the best case scenario for humanity. I wish humanity would get to that point. That's what we're fighting for, and that's what I'm here for. If we all could be, you know, those messiahs like I talk about all the time, we could get to that point. But we're still hundreds of years off. We got to shed a lot of the stuff, man. That we, you know, the personal and the ego. You know. So what else you got? What else you got?
So I think it's the second Fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them, a Harry Potter movie. It wasn't really critically acclaimed. The first one was really good, but that was just a fun movie. The second one is all alchemical. The whole movie is an alchemical masterpiece. So like that's why people didn't like it when they watched it, because they didn't understand what they were seeing. They were seeing it, but they couldn't process it. So that usually turns people off. But the whole movie, they do the Dance of the Dragons in it, and like the red fire and the white fire. It's a great movie. It's just like that's what it is. I don't even know if I can say the words how awesome it is, but it is an alchemical masterpiece. Like the whole movie is literally breaking down the system, you know, and not like the actual system, but you know, just what alchemy is. And so I can't really get into the details of that, but it's just like, you know, it's a great masterpiece. It's good.
Right.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the second one.
The second Harry Potter. What year did it come out?
2017.
2017.
Yeah, it's the second Fantastic Beast, so it's not even part of Harry Potter. It's like the spin-off series.
Gotcha. Movie wise, besides Frequency and Q, you know, besides the Matrix is obvious. You know, I quote that all the time. There is damn, I forgot the name of this. I forgot the name of the movie. God. All right, I'm gonna skip that one because I can't think of the actual title. I can't think of the actual title, but it was well, let me skip that. You know, because I can't think of the actual title of it. My brain is fried right now. Another one of my favorite movies, believe it or not, there's a lot of hood stuff in there. But one of the ones that got me on my journey was The Big Short.
Oh, I love The Big Short, dude.
Right. The Big Short, it's funny. It's a funny movie, but it breaks down a lot of information.
Oh yeah, for sure. It explains it to everybody.
Right. So it breaks it down. But it's about my industry. It's about the mortgage industry. And it's about how the symbolism in it, they basically tell you that really that money is fiat. There's nothing there behind it. There's nothing backing it. So they really break down the whole thing, like, you know, how the economy collapsed in 2008. So they break it down from A to Z. And there's one guy that actually
figured it out.
Right. And nobody believed them until they actually started doing deep research. And they're like, oh, snap, he's right. You know, we're about to go into a recession. By the end
and the quote is because he says to all the lawyers, "Have you read all the mortgages and what's inside them?" And they're like, "No, who reads that stuff?" It's like, I read them all. This is what's going to happen.
Right, exactly. So the symbology in that is twofold. It shows you for the man that actually, it was based on a true story as well. For the man that actually discovered it, shows how much you can accomplish and how much you can do, and if you're not afraid to be in a one of one, So you can don't be afraid to be on the island by yourself with your research. If your research is right, it's right. Most people are gonna go along with the trend. So he wasn't scared to go ahead and lie. All of you guys are wrong. This is what I see. So, and then on the flip side is that it shows the people that are asleep that, hey, everything isn't what it seems. Especially if you go along with the program and don't check. A lot of times nothing is there. So you might want to double check on stuff that you invest in your whole life in. So this is that dichotomy of those two things, those two different people. And like he was the bad guy for a long time until the very end. Like everybody was like, man, you nuts, man. And he was dead on right, So it took a lot of courage, it took a lot of sacrifice in order for him to become that. Let's do a couple more. We have about 25 minutes. Let's do another 5 minutes or so.
Okay, yeah. So the next one is popular. It's called Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Shutter Island. I don't know if I've seen that, but I've definitely heard of that.
Yeah, so it's about this guy who's stuck, who thinks he's a detective, right, in this psych ward, and he's like investigating a murder or something. I can't really exactly remember what it was, but he's like trying to solve this case and about all these things happening to all these people, and he's on this island, and he thinks he's going to get killed, blah 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 blah, and then the twist is that it turns out he is actually in the asylum. But he forgets every time they wake him up. So when he gets woken up, towards the end of the movie, he's like, "Oh, where am I? Where am I?" Oh, and he gets real scared because the doctor who's waking him up is the bad guy, And so he's waking him up, and he's like, "Hey, just hold on. You're free. You're back into reality. Here you are. This is how it is." And then he chooses at the end to get euthanized, so he can't distinguish what's real and what's not real. But the moral of the story is the symbology of it is he thought he was somewhere else doing something else. In reality, everyone was trying to save him. Someone else was trying to save him.
Right.
It's the third and fourth dimensions, fifth dimensions, all in that one movie.
Gotcha. One of my favorite movies of last year. I know you hadn't checked this out because this is definitely kind of hood. Dolomite, the Eddie Murphy. That's not the proper name. Like, tell him my name or something.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it though, but I heard it's good.
Great movie. The reason why I love it so much because it reminds me of myself so much. Dolomite. The story of Dolomite was with Rudy Ray Moore. He's a real person. That was in the 70s. And he created this character, Dolomite. He used to work at a record shop, and he was trying to break through in the comedic world, and then never was quite, get there. So he paid a bum like to give him some of these old school rhymes and stuff like that, little stories, and he went on live in his local club, and it took fire. And he was later on in life, his 30s, 40s, and he started to catch on. And he used to try everything to get on, man. He was trying to sing, he was trying to dance, nothing would catch on, but this started catching on. So he started he wanted to go to the next level. He wanted to put out albums, comedy albums. Nobody would invest in them. So he took his own money, sold it in the stores, and then sold it out trunk of the car, made a whole bunch of money like that, got hot. He wanted to go and get into movies. Nobody would invest in the movies. So he took his own money, shot the movie himself. And then what he did is he rented out a theater. He promoted himself and made his money back off the movie through showing it one at a time. So the thing, it was this grit of nobody. It's the same as me. Nobody believed in me based on appearance. Everybody look at me, oh, this big dude. But I still strive, and I put my own money into everything I do, and it always works out for me because I have a lot of grit and determination. So, and by the time he died, he came from nothing, and he died with he was worth like 12, 14 million, by the time he died. So he was an American, an urban American icon, and that's all he wanted. He wanted people to know who he was. You know, he came from a little small town. He moved to L.A. and he just used his grit and determination to force himself into pop culture.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I'm glad to watch it.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Eddie Murphy, Wesley Snipes, what's the guy name that Day Day? What's Mike Epps? Mike Epps
Okay.
is in there. It's a star-studded cast: Snoop Dogg, Chris Rock. It's a funny movie, man. I watched it like 3-4 times. It still gets interesting every time. But if you the underdog, you like underdog stories. It's a true underdog story.
Yeah. I guess another one for this one came out and won the Oscar this year. Parasite, fantastic film. I was real hesitant
Is
at
Parasite
first.
a documentary or a film?
It's a film.
I thought it was. I looked at it. I thought it was a documentary.
No, it's a Korean film. You have to watch the whole movie's in Korean. You have to watch it on subtitles.
Okay, it's all subtitle.
Yeah, so if you get past the subtitles, the movie is rock star. It is a crazy
Yeah.
the first 10 minutes. Sorry, the first 10 minutes. And you're like, just what's this movie about? And then all of a sudden it just clicks. Just like no way, this is how this movie is going to turn out. And it's a roller coaster from that point on. It is a drama. It's a comedy. It's a political movie. It makes a statement about social engineering and what people would do to win, like at all costs. You know, it's like it is a fantastic film. It gets my vote for the Oscar. I've watched all the Oscar movies. Parasite is my favorite one. It's
So it's
good.
all Korean actors.
Yeah, all Korean actors. Yep.
Right, I'm gonna have to check it out. I thought it was when I looked at it, it's on Netflix right now, right?
No, I don't think it's out on any of this. It's an
Okay.
Oscar
I must be.
acclaimed
No,
movie.
I'm confusing it with The Pharmacist.
Okay.
I'm confusing with The Pharmacist. The Pharmacist is a documentary, right?
Maybe I think I've seen it on
Right.
Netflix, but I haven't clicked on it.
Right.
But
I'm
no,
at.
this one, yeah, pure 2.5 hours drama thriller is top notch. It has a lot to do with society today. Unfortunately, it's a good movie.
Right. Right. Two more I want to plug, then we can roll out. But both of these are Netflix movies right here. I Am Mother.
Great one.
Yeah,
Yep.
I Am Mother and God, it was this. I just thought about it. Eli.
Okay, the Book of Eli.
Nah, Eli. This Eli.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, you got to check Eli out, man. That's dope.
Book of Eli is good.
I Am Mother. Both of them are talking kind of about the same thing. That's why I'm gonna clump them together. But both of them are talking about a lot of symbology. But I Am Mother is the premise is that this robot, artificial intelligence. Here we go. That you know they are raising humans. You know, one at a time as the experiment. So, and she was, you know, since birth teaching the humans that they were extinct and all this stuff, and you know, so she came to trust this robot, and midway through the movie, another human pops up, you know, and she, you know, came to discover that hey, there's more humans out there than you know your artificial intelligence raisers or protectors were telling you, and so it was a who would you go with, your gut, or people that look like you, or people that raise you? So. And you know that was the determination. Who would you go with? Like, you know, is genetics stronger than loyalty? You know, so that was the thing on that one. And then for Eli was super dope because it was talking about first of all, Eli is an anagram for lie. And I know the same thing with the Book of Eli. Same thing. It's an anagram for lie. You know, and it was talking about
Can it also mean God is I though? L is God and I is
Li.
one.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but in this case, it was an anagram for lie. So this guy, he was a hypochondriac. This little boy, born in a bubble. That's what his mom told him. So he couldn't be exposed to the sun. He couldn't take baths. He had to, everything. He got sick. So they were running out of money, and his parents took him to this alternate healing place, and they took the last money that they ever had, and they invested in this so-called doctor that had these alternate healing practices, and it was almost like chemo that they were putting him through. And as they put him through this therapy, that the more he would see into the spiritual realm, so more he was getting haunted by different beings and stuff like that. And they kept writing Eli on the wall, and he figured out it was an anagram for not only lie, but it was an anagram for 713. And the 713 was the code to get to the bottom of the where they were actually doing the real experiments. Coming to find out that these were all religious nuts. It was a cult that was actually doing, they were like Jesuit priests or something like that, doing experiments on him, because actually he was a son of Satan.
Oh wow.
He was actually one of Satan's offspring. You know what I mean? So they told him since he was born that something was wrong and he was sick. And his mom actually slept with Satan. His dad didn't know anything about it, but his mom actually slept with Satan. And she knew the whole time that he was Satan's spawn. But they were trying to conform him with religion, and what they were doing, they was injecting him with really holy water.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole experiment. You know what I mean? And he didn't know they thought it was like chemo, but it was actually really holy water. The symbology in is that I looked at it as religion as a whole. Is that it's trying to conform you to something and trying to make you something, and it's not allowing you who you are. So you take the Satan out of it. The symbology is I am God. I'm the one. But religion tries to conform you and make you into this particular mold.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a very religious guy, so I believe in a lot of religion. I think most people just don't know how to read it. That's
Right.
all.
Right. Well, I've been talking about organized religion.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about religion, we gotta ask, what does it mean? What's the etymology? Religion, realignment, what are we pledging our allegiance to?
Yeah, the one always.
Right. So, but that's what they say, but most of them not what they do. Most of them got priests and all the hierarchy, and you got to go through these people in order to get to the divine, which is false. So, you don't need anybody. That's a good segue, because now we're a little bit over. That's the premise of my next book. I Am the Book. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. That's what I talk about. So if you're interested in stuff like that, it's a good. I break that down on how we don't need any books. I don't need the Bible. I don't need the Quran. I don't need any Sanskrit. I don't need any Veda, because it's all in my DNA. I could go I could go in the jungles, and that's what Buddha did, and that's what supposedly the Christ conscious, the Nazarene did. I could go in the jungles and I could meditate, and I could go there, and I don't need anything. I don't need anything else outside of myself, and I can pull all the information I need. So that's information. Information.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is out formation. That's somebody else's interpretation that they went in and they put out dot on it.
Unless they can channel energy,
Right. Well, they channeled their energy, and you're trying to get. It's almost like eating meat. You're getting the vitamins secondhand. Like, so the cow
doesn't mean that they're wrong, though.
Huh?
It doesn't mean that they're wrong, though. It's just like.
Well, it's just a different way. Like, so let's say, for example, we try to get the nutrients from the meat that the cow ate, and when you can just go ahead and eat the veggies and get it straight hand. So it's
that's true.
So this is what we're doing, is we're going by these books that these so-called scholars wrote thousands of years ago, and I could just go straight to the source myself.
Yeah, but they were tapping in, though, right? That's how I look at it. They tap in.
That's their angle, though. See,
the thing, but
you
can still tap in.
Yeah,
I tap in all the time.
Yeah, Stephen Contreras tapping in is different than Brandon B. Dixon tapping in, even
Mm-hmm.
though it's the same source. You're coming from Stephen Contreras' angle. Plus, we're talking different ages here. The age of Aries and the age of Pisces is the different from the age of Aquarius. So you're talking about stuff that's in the age of Pisces, which is all fantasy, or you're talking about the age of Aries, which is talking about all self-improvement. The age of Aquarius is a different age. We talk, it's all groups. It's all about, finding your soul group. It's
Yeah.
a different age, different time. So you got to recognize the ages. All ages have different knowledge, and it morphs. So we're trying to go with something that's 2,000 years ago, and you're in the wrong age.
Yeah, that's why you have to be able to read it.
Right. Or you got to interpret. You can't take it too. I'm not saying don't read any books, because I read books. As you can see, my library is right here. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. My library is right there in the corner, but I got a ton of books. But at the same time, you got to learn how to trust yourself. There's no book greater than I. There's no greater book greater than I am. So it was in my genetics. It was in my DNA. So I trust that before anything. And it took a long time for me to do that, but now I'm there. It's like, I am the book. There is nothing else that I need to do. We all one. It's all the oneness. The one big harp orchestra. So that's all I need to trust. Once I trust that, there's nothing else. Everything else, people. I like to read books for cosigns. Oh, that I already knew that. But as far as enlightenment, the Buddha, the Christ, the Muhammad, all of them did what? Did they need books to get enlightened?
Not sure.
The Buddha, you're talking about the original Buddha, not Buddha that's in back here. He went into the caves. He was a rich dude that never left the house until he was 29. And he left everything. He left all the riches. He was a prince. He left all the riches to go in the jungles. And then when he went to the jungles, that's when he got enlightened.
Yep.
If you're talking about not to go grab too long, if you're talking about Muhammad supposedly couldn't read. So he couldn't have read no books. I'm not sure if this is myth or facts. If you're talking about the Nazarene, Yeshua was supposed to be educated in Egypt, but did he often referred to the laws, but he didn't write. He didn't write. The people around him wrote the book. Supposedly,
Yeah.
they wrote. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be the Living Testament. So I mean, follow along them. Isn't you supposed if you consider yourself a Christian or a Gnostic Christian, it means to crystallize oneself with God, follow the example of Jesus the Christ, right? So if you follow the example of him and you follow it to a T, and you actually become him. So my thing is this is what I talk about. Whether he existed or not is irrelevant. If you follow the example, you're going to become him.
Yep.
So why are you worried about somebody 2,000 years ago? You're going to be, and then he even said it, the Christ conscious said it. Why you call it me master? Because greater works ye shall do. Mm-hmm. So my work, my work's going to pale in comparison. So why are we looking 2,000 years ago? We should be strictly focused on what we're doing today and becoming the Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just how the world is, That's it.
You see? So that's the premise. That's my doctrine, should I say. But, the book, if you like that type of content, that's what the book is going to be about. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I know you got to go to sleep here. My night is just beginning. I'm probably going to bang out a couple of chapters. I'm working on a comic book right now. I'm probably going to write a couple of speeches. I got to get it, man. I'm becoming who I'm supposed to be. So I don't slow down. I speed up. So Steve, go ahead and introduce yourself. I mean, go and take them out. Tell them what you got coming next, and let's go ahead and take it out.
Yeah, just a couple of other good nuggets. Westworld's good. Inception's good. The Prestige is good. Anything Christopher Nolan's good. Quentin Tarantino's good. Anything Stephen King, he hides lots of symbolisms in his work. There's a lot of them out there.
What about it? Huh? You like it?
Yeah, it's a symbolism for pedophilia. I think the whole community knew what was happening to these kids, and they didn't do anything about it. And he just hides it into a clown monster.
I thought it was a little bit different. I thought they actually seen, if you look at the the remake, they actually seen it wasn't actually a clown. It was it was their worst fear that they would
Yeah,
see
for sure.
that. So only that one guy seen it as a clown because he was scared of clowns.
Yeah,
So
but I mean,
it
overall, I think it's about like children trying to speak the truth and like parents don't listen, and so they had to do it themselves. You know.
that's a that's a good analogy, but I looked at it a little bit different. I think it was just telling you about your worst fear that it's only real as you make it. So it was this showing you that it was all fake. That it's not real. It's all your mind. It's all the mental. So it's just
Yeah,
good, you know, and
that's
it
that's
was
why that's why he's the king, right? Stephen King.
right. So I thought,
So,
yeah, I thought it was a little bit different. But yeah, go ahead, take them out.
Facebook, Stephen at Stephen_Contreras_90 on Instagram. I'm always working, just doing different things, So hope you guys like this video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Leave your comments below and tell us what your favorite movies and TV shows are, and we'll check them out. Yeah.
Right. A couple of honorable mentions before I get out of here is the Chump Scrummer, man. I know you'll love this movie. You reminded me when you talk about pedophilia, but not about pedophilia at all. What it's talking about is that this came out in 2005. The Chump Scrubber is CHU.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you got to check that out. Check that one out too, man. I think you'll like that video because it's a millennial talking about young people, but it's a adult versus teenage movie, meaning that the adults get so wrapped up into the matrix that they don't even pay attention to the kids anymore. And we're so caught up in our daily lives that we don't pay attention to the kids. We expect the kids to, I guess, raise themselves. And that's what a lot of kids are doing. They're raising themselves through the TV and through media and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's real sad.
they really don't. Video games and media is actually raising the kids. So this is about a guy who used to sell pills and he hung himself, and his mom didn't even know anything about it. And it was it was all about balance. It's a deep movie. This is one of the deepest movies that I've seen in the early 2000s, The Chump Scrubber. Check that out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one. It's a deep movie, man, and it's been slept on. www.hocmortgage.com. If you want a mortgage, now's the time. Let's go. I'm super duper swamped. I'm gonna be swamped all day tomorrow with mortgages, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a house soon.
Let's go. Whenever you're ready. At billionaireloanofficer.com. If you want to go ahead and book me for consultation, sales training, so on and so forth. You can call me 832-775-8357 24/7. But don't forget, I'm starting to get a lot of weird calls, man. Don't forget I charge, and people want to text me.
I don't mean to laugh, but I couldn't put my phone number on the internet. I wouldn't do it.
Again, call me. I have nothing to hide. I am the truth. I am the light. So call me. But don't forget I charge. If you want to get granular and all that, my time is valuable. So I can't have a 30-minute, hour text conversation with you without invoicing you. So if you got a quick question, I'll gladly answer it. But if you want me to, remedy something for you, that's a different story. At Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. And you can check out our Cash App. If you want to donate to the show, you want to keep us going, y'all want a little bit more higher in production, the power of ownership at the Cash App. Go ahead and donate. Also at Anchor, you can go ahead and pledge where you can sign up on our Patreon, or through Anchor. You can sign up through it where you give 99 cents to $9.99 or whatever you want to get, $9.99.99 per month. Support us, man. We're gonna keep this going. And we're really one of the only podcasts of its kind that's giving you these nuggets to keep going, So tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's spread the power of ownership movement. Let's keep it going, man. Let's make it bigger than what it is right now. So again, I'm gonna say that God is a verb and personal responsibility is your only savior. With that, we're gonna say peace.
Peace.
All right. Yep. So that